Today, Bungie dropped an action-packed Vidoc, which took us into much greater depth on some Witch Queen mechanics like weapon crafting and even a little bit about Foundry and Origin perks. And some of these perks will grant, like plus 40 reload speeds under certain conditions. And others grant extra resilience and damage resistance after a kill. We've also got Foundry-specific perks like Amlan, Haka, Suros perks, and we've got weapon crafting that will allow you to select your god roll and then even level up those perks, which we saw from some of the content creators who got to play early. They said you can level up these perks like Killing Wind and get a better version of it. And this sounds like some serious power creep that's going to happen. Now, on the one hand, I'm totally down for these additions. They sound incredible, phenomenal, great for build crafters looking to finely tune every aspect of their kit. But on the other hand, I can't help but feel like the rift between the guns we're going to be wielding in the future and the guns that we're wielding right now, that rift is going to get really, really wide. In other words, some of the weapons we're using today are literally going to have fewer perks and less control over customizability than the ones we'll have going forward. So, what does that mean for the guns you have today? Are you going to be scrapping them? I mean, it might mean that you'll be holding on to a lot of weapons purely based off of sentimental value, but there are guns you're using today that you'll likely put down when the Witch Queen drops, and you'll never seriously pick up again. I think I think of the Chroma Rush, auto rifle from Season of the Splicer. I've been using that as an ad clearing weapon for 2 seasons now, and it's got thousands and thousands of kills on it. But if I get one of the new auto rifles, and there are 2 that you can craft, by the way, and say I craft a god roll that's made for ad clearing with the same perks or even better ones than my Chroma Rush, and it's got an Origin perk on it, there's going to be no advantage to using my older weapon over my new weapon moving forward. It'll have fewer perks and less utility than the new one. So this is undeniably gonna spill over into PvP. People who own the Witch Queen and can craft those specific rolls for PvP or farm in certain places for Foundry weapons are going to have a leg up intrinsically on everyone else. So that begs the question, is this a good thing? And I'm going to have to fall off the log, and I'll do it right now, and I'll say, I think, yes, it is a good thing. And already I know people are like, what? Hey, what about the free-to-play players? This is pay-to-win. Just calm down. Let's just think about this for a second, and let me explain my position on this. One of the biggest problems that Destiny faces is the fact that the game, regardless of how awesome and huge it is held back by old and existing weapons and armor that the game has to accommodate for. Destiny 2 launched in 2017, and many of us are still hanging on to loot that we got before the first DLC ever dropped. The game has to accommodate for the existence of stuff that is nearly 5 years old, and unfortunately, that means that the game is held back and can't progress in crazy new ways that we might like, because in order for Bungie to take the game into new spaces, they have to spend manpower and resources and capital retrofitting old features, old things in the game to fit in the new Destiny atmosphere. So that's just the nature of having a game that doesn't have a sequel, but instead it just continues to grow and develop over half of a decade. I'm a nostalgic person, and my vault is packed full of stuff that I don't touch. But it's there because it used to mean something to me at one point, and seeing it in my vault takes me back to a different series of memories and into a different version of Destiny than the one that we have today. So I totally understand people being concerned about what these changes might mean for their favorite weapons, but at the end of the day, I want Destiny to push itself further. I want it to grow and develop into new and better versions of itself, and I want it to pursue innovations instead of repackaging the same kinds of content that we've been used to receiving for years from Bungie. A lot of people are like, this seasonal activity is just the same old seasonal activity, just in a different space. It doesn't feel new, doesn't feel fresh. People say stuff like that, and that's one thing that they say, but then they also might criticize the game for being too innovative and leaving things behind. You can't have it both ways. So I want Destiny to break free of this just sort of repackaging the same kind of content and push into more innovative stuff. And it looks like that is what we are getting with the Witch Queen. It's really like the next version of Destiny 2. That's a good thing. If you haven't seen the Vidoc yet, I'd encourage you to watch it and get a better idea of what the Witch Queen has to offer. The throne world alone looks absolutely incredible. I love the haunted swamp kind of vibe and the dark gothic fantasy vibe of the big bad's castle, right? I can't wait to dive headfirst into the new Destiny content in a couple of weeks. Destiny is always at its best, as far as I'm concerned, when it's infused with new spaces and new story arcs and abilities and lots of new players as well. And like they said, 50 new guns. Hey, that's a good thing. And I'll let you know right now that when the new content drops, I'll probably be streaming on day one here on YouTube as soon as it goes live. But after that, I will likely not be streaming too much in those first several days, as I will instead be focused on bringing top quality VOD content and videos here on the YouTube channel to help viewers know where to go, what to do, how to best spend their time, and where to find cool stuff. So thanks so much for being a part of our community and for supporting my channel. I genuinely appreciate your support. Feel free to drop a like on the video only if you enjoyed it, and if you made it to the end, leave a comment letting me know which foundry you're most interested in farming a god-rolled weapon from. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.